Good. Good to be here.
All right, with Coach Fraser, we'll start off with his general thoughts on the game tonight. We got questions.
Really hard-fought game. They're such a good and talented team. Seattle is that. We knew it would be difficult. We knew we had to really be up for it. We had to be really engaged. And that's probably the thing that I'm most pleased with is our level of engagement throughout the game. I didn't think we were perfect by any stretch, but I thought as you could see on the players' faces throughout the game, they were firmly invested in this. And when we play that level of engagement, we give ourselves a good chance to win. And unfortunately, on the day, we beat a very, very good team.
Robin, do you have an update on Mark Anthony Kay and his eye?
It looks horrible. It looks like he went 10 rounds in a boxing match. A couple of elbows, and I think he's going to be okay. I'm obviously disappointed that you feel like you want your players to be afforded the most protection possible through the rules of the game, and it was just unfortunate that we had to lose a good player early and no real consequences apparently.
Robert, early on, such a really nice start with Diego and Mikey releasing them forward and getting them forward. What kind of gave that legs, so to speak? Was that the half long, but also the game long? I thought they did really well throughout the night.
Yeah, I thought we started from how we wanted to defend from the front. That's kind of our starting point.
Yeah.
I thought they did a good job of trying to find moments to create pressure, and moments we couldn't get pressure, they were responsible with the players around them. But as the game wore on, we really started to find our legs a bit, and we won some good balls in transition, and were able to get into attacks pretty quickly. And I thought both guys, and I thought when Johnny came in, same for him, really were able to take some of those moments and create some dangerous things. Obviously, we end up creating a goal, but I feel like when we defend well and we win balls in good spots and win balls going forward, certainly, depending on the personnel, we have some guys who can really hurt you in a counterattack. And certainly at home, it's a great thing for us. It ignites the crowd, it gives us energy. And I thought all three guys did really well. I thought Mark did well before he got hurt. But then I thought Johnny and Mikey and Diego really were able to turn some of those transition moments into really dangerous feeling opportunities.
Robin, just with Anthony's MLS debut, his first start in MLS, what did you see from him today specifically, defensively, and even offensively, getting some chances and creating things in the box, and then kind of how he ties into what you saw from the defense today as a whole?
Yeah, Anthony did really well. It's obviously a huge game to make your MLS debut, and they just won the CONCACAF Champions League. They're pretty damn good. But he was unfazed. He went in, he's a confident kid, and he understands how to play the position. I thought defensively he was in good spots all night. Offensively, made some very good choices with the ball. Was able to release some of our guys on counterattacks, get some good balls across the field. He has a lot of tools, and I thought tonight a few of them were certainly on display. I thought he did really well on both sides of it all. And in terms of how the whole group defended, I thought it was just such a resolute, kind of determined performance. If somebody slipped, other guys got around and covered. As I said, the level of engagement was really, really high. And I thought early on there's a lot of place changing going on for Seattle. Christian Romance he's all over the place. And it can be an unsettling thing, but I thought we were good in not giving up dangerous spaces for them to exploit, and good communication throughout the whole group, so that as Roland in particular was moving around, that we were able to get some numbers around him. And that only happens when you have that level of engagement. And I thought, as a whole, the group defended really, really well.
with the goal tonight. He hasn't scored since the game against Atlanta. We talked about how he's done good things, fairly or unfairly. He's going to be judged on goals that he scored. I don't know if that ball off of Yamar was going in with or without his touch, but what can you say about his performance off the bench and maybe the goal being a vindication of the other work he's done?
I feel like you guys evaluate him based on goals, and then obviously we want him to score. But for all of the players, it's how they fit into what is being asked of them, how they fit into the team scheme. And I think Johnny has been really good for a couple of weeks now, and consistently dangerous and threatening, which is obviously great. But his diligence defensively also is huge for us. Alright, I'm done talking about him now. He just walked in. I'm not going to blow his head up anymore. No, but I thought he did. Really well. And the biggest thing for me with Johnny, I shouldn't say the biggest thing because there are so many things. The defensive responsibility is excellent. Of this willingness to be aggressive, and dangerous and threatening, and he has such great physical capabilities that when he plays aggressively, he's super hard to deal with because of how fast he is, and he's a very good finisher. So when he is confident and he's on top of his game, I think he's extremely threatening, and we saw that tonight.
Robin, this is your 50th career win as an MLS head coach. What does that mean to you, really?
5 short of 1 for every year of my life. That's what I mean. Yeah, I was asked that question earlier, and the biggest thing that means to me, honestly, is that I look back at the time that I've spent here and how much I've enjoyed it. I enjoy it because of the players, coaches that I work with, the staff here, and it's such an incredible place to come to work every day. I love being in every training session. Thursdays where the coaches sit here and we debate for 5 hours what the lineup's going to be, and we're leaving here at 7 p.m. and that sort of thing. It's all because I enjoy being here. And 50 wins is more a byproduct of being in this incredible environment. And that's a nice statistic for sure, 50 career wins, but it really just highlights kind of what we've done since we've all been together. It's really exciting, and hopefully it's just a prelude to a lot more to come.
One more quick one, Rob, if you don't mind. Just as we were sitting here, I'm thinking about, it's been such a hectic week. Can you give us an idea of just the mentality of the guys and the group in the locker room? And that's a lot of stress. I mean, travel and different.
Yeah, it's been more than a hectic week. It's been a really hectic 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And all of what we've gone through, the whole thing in Minnesota, come up against LAFC, a very good team, had a great performance. We go to Kansas City, who's short because they have so many injuries, and felt like we didn't do well enough there. And then to come back on the tail end of this is again about character and integrity. And I actually was really worried that we were going to be flat given what we've done over the last 2 weeks. But again, I keep talking about this level of engagement. And that's the thing is, hopefully the players are starting to realize that they're so good. But to win week in, week out, it's about your level of engagement. How focused can you be? How much are you willing to do the things that you don't really feel like doing, but you need to do in the moment? And I think today was a great example of that. Just the amount of work that was done to help slow down what is a very good team. That's one bit of it, but then confidence and ability to play and create opportunities the way that we did, it really just speaks volumes of to what their mentality is like. And as I said, going back to the previous answer, it's why I love being here. It's one of the reasons I love being here is that we have so many good people, and I enjoy being around the players, the staff away from the coaches, just everyone down here. It's a really great environment. And it's a lot about the culture that we try to create, the culture that these guys continue to carry and promote. we're really, really proud of them for what they've done over this last period. It's been difficult, it's been a grind, but really, really proud of them.
Thank you.
No big heads for you too.
I got kids at home.
Count my kids at home. Which one's priority? You guys started that. Actually, I promise you, let him go, because I don't want to talk to you.
Yes, I'll talk to you.
Oh, man.
Well done, Robin.
Okay, take your time, John.
Johnny, how does it feel to be Robin's favorite over Beta?
No chance.
It was a good game. I think it was a hard-fought game. You know, it wasn't pretty, but I think one of the big things that we're showing this year is the resilience. We're not playing good soccer at home, that we're just making this our fortress. I mean, what is it, 22 unbeaten, I think, 23 unbeaten at home? So, and in my opinion, I don't even think we played to our potential yet, but I think this is the gritty side of the game that we're really now showing, and I think this is what embodies us whenever we're able to fight and get through games. Then that's when we get results that way, you know, it makes us almost unstoppable because we can play pretty soccer and then we can grind out results. So for me, that's what today's game was. Seattle obviously is one of the most dangerous teams in the league, and I think we did a really good job of stopping them. We just did really well on the counter.
Johnny, kind of Matt gets hurt, right before the end of the second half, and you come in at an unusual time for a substitution to happen. What was the message from the coaching staff, and then with a little bit of the formation change, what were you trying to do?
The biggest thing was the coach just told me when I'm coming in, just be as aggressive as you've been in the last few weeks. Like they told me I'm gonna get my reward. It's funny. Like I knew when he got injured, like I was like, today's gonna be the day I score. Don't know how it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna score. So so I think the biggest thing is that, as Robin's been saying, to me, just be aggressive. I think like in the last few games, especially since the Portland game, I've really started to find my footing. So I'm hoping this goal now is gonna start turning into a bunch, and I hope everyone is gonna scoring tear now.
Johnny, you mentioned a little bit too. I mean, Seattle's a good team. They got plenty of weapons, but even after you guys got the go ahead, you really didn't give that much. I mean, they didn't earn much after that. I mean, as far as the play going forward, how'd you guys kind of keep them, under wraps? But still, it's not like you parked the bus or anything. You guys kept pushing and playing and countering things like that.
It's just the work. It's just guys wanting to do the things they don't want to do. I came on and I felt like I didn't get a chance to breathe. I think I sprinted for 55 minutes straight, and honestly, that was a harder game than playing maybe LAFC when I played 83 minutes Kansas, where I played the whole game. Like that was harder, but it's just about the commitment to the work. And that's the biggest thing that the coaching staff has said is doing the things that you don't feel like doing. And I 100% didn't feel like doing that today, but like we had to get the results. So chasing guys down and just trying to be a pest. And Robin's been telling me that like on the defensive side of the game, if I can be a pest while going against defenders defensively, like trying to steal the ball from them, then it will change my game. And I think that everyone on our team is doing that, just being a pest and making it like difficult for some of these top players. Like a guy like Rui Diaz, I don't think he maybe had one shot on goal today. And for me, he's the best striker in the league, honestly. So just being a pest and just being in people's faces, and that's what's going to help us to play against the top players like that.
Johnny Anthony with his first MLS start. How's he integrated in with the group? What do you think of him in the back?
He really impressed me. I kept joking with him all week. I'm like, you need to play good. And he was like, yo, don't put too much pressure on me. But I personally like him. I like to play with him too. I think he's just a very, very, very solid player. Honestly, who said it? Someone said it's like Beta when he was like playing back in Toronto. Like he's very solid, doesn't make mistakes. He's gonna have a really, really great career in this league, and hopefully he can go overseas. But I think he's a really good player, and I think Fraser is not a hard play. Is a very hard player to play against. I mean, I've played with Roldan in the national team. So versatile, can do so many different things to hurt you. I think he did a really good job of containing him today.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Get out of here.
I would have texted back. It started like 9.
I think He's gotta go too.
Don't worry about
No
it.
worries.
Don't worry about it. We'll make it quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, if you gotta go, we'll just do it.
No, it's all right.
No,
I already texted wifey. Johnny's to blame, so.
Okay.
As long as we blame Johnny, we're good.
She'll make him pay it.
Yeah. Start off with the game today.
Yeah, I mean, look, Seattle's a very good team. I know people look at standings right now, they're not sitting pretty, but their focus was Champions League. And so they did an incredible job winning that. You got to give them credit for that. And regardless of standings now in the league, they're going to come here and they're going to put pressure on us. And I think they did that. I think they started off really well. We struggled a little bit getting pressure to the outside center backs for them. But then as the game went on, I think we kind of found our rhythm. We were able to possess a little bit better. And, in that first half, I don't know what the stats were, but, we probably had 4 or 5 decent shots. And I don't think Will had to necessarily make a save in the first half. So regardless of the possession, I think we started off all right. We weathered the storm. I was telling Robin right now, that was a good team performance where, yeah, they had the ball, they had their moments, but we just bent, we didn't break. So second half, we found our goal. I think Diego does a great job, go up and challenge with some big center backs. It's not an easy task. And then ends up putting in the ball where Johnny just is the right spot at the right time. So I hope that that goal gives Johnny confidence because he's been playing well this year. He just hasn't necessarily seen the ball going back to the net. Sometimes strikers they just need to see the ball. So hopefully the floodgates open for him. And that's my thoughts. Repeat all that? No, thank you.
Beta, Anthony with his first start in MLS play, what have you done as a veteran to kind of take him under your wing, and what do you think of him tonight?
I haven't done anything. He's a great kid. Great personality, great work ethic. We've seen it since preseason, honestly. Like, he's looked good, and every day he just comes in ready to work. So we're very excited that he had his debut. He played well. He didn't look like he was nervous, and he played for the team. It wasn't about just trying to be out there for Anthony. It was, let me be out there for Colorado Rapids. Let's do whatever it takes, and that's what I love the most. He knew that he had to put a defensive shift, and the moments where we were able to attack and go from one side to the other, he was connecting passes. So I thought he did a tremendous job for his debut.
Steven, you mentioned it earlier. It was a bend but didn't break type of night. But how tough was that, or how key was that, especially coming off of the road trip to Kansas City? Much different night for you guys.
Yeah, look, it's not going to be pretty every game. At the end of the day, we obviously want to play good football, but there's going to be games where you just have to see the game out, and I think that was a very experienced result. They had their spell of possession, but we just weathered the storm. I think that was something that we need to do more of, especially on the road. We're maybe not going to play teams off the park on certain days. Some days we will, but on the days where maybe it's just not our night, we have to just bend and not break. And hopefully this is the first step throughout the rest of the year.
Just with the defense as a whole, what did you see from everybody, even with kind of a couple guys being out, Austin missing his first start for the entire season? Just where did you see some of the adaptability, of course, with everybody being cohesive in that defensive?
Yeah, I think the guys did a great job coming in. Austin's been unbelievable for us this year, last year. He plays every single game. We joked around that he just wanted a break, so that's why he got that. But no, he's honestly a great player, and we're going to miss him tremendously when he leaves, in a few weeks. But the guys came in. Keegan went over to the left center back role and did a great job just distributing and making sure that we just weather the storm again. Seattle, they're a good team for the past decade. These guys are always in the playoffs. These guys always a top team, winning trophies. So we knew it wasn't going to be easy. And so when Anthony comes in, when myself, when I come in, it's just a next man up mentality. Do your job again, bend, don't break, and I did that.
Beta, the last 2 weeks have been kind of the case of, tale of one performance or one result midweek and then tale of another or a bounce back in the second week. Can you kind of put your finger on what's not there on the road or what just has been inconsistent and how you go about building that to be, a more consistent, solid team instead of, kind of up and down depending on where you're playing?
Yeah, we definitely need to be more consistent. We all know that. I think it's just been one game, great result. Next game, not so great. And so I think last year we were so comfortable with home or away, we're getting results. And I think we just need to reset that mindset a little bit for the road. Maybe it's not going to be so easy. Maybe we're not going to go winning 2-3-0. Maybe we just need to squeak out some more 1-0 results. I think last year we kind of prided ourselves on the defensive end, and I think that needs to be the mindset some more going on the road. Just not giving anything up. It's at their place. They need to force the issue, and then we can get some good results. So just gotta be more consistent for sure. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Get home. Get out of here.
Yeah.